I've lived overseas for the past 4 years, which means I've missed the last 4 holiday seasons at home in Australia. And each and every year, the guilt gets tighter in my chest, the feeling of homesickness, the feeling of loneliness, and I feel like I'm trading moments for moments. And I tell you all this to tell you that a few years ago, I wrote a piece called All the Christmas Lights and posted it on my newsletter at the time. Since then, it's become an annual tradition for myself. It's the only tradition I have at this time of year because this is for the people that struggle through Christmas time, through the loneliness, through the pain, through the financial hardships, through the struggles with family, through whatever it might be that you're going through, whether it's a time you celebrate or don't. I'm sharing this with you. And for those of you that love Christmas, as a way to maybe reach out to those that you care about or to help other people and maybe reframe how we think about Christmas. The title of this piece is called Light Me Up with All the Christmas Lights. It's a homage to a song that Slowly wrote called Christmas Lights. I'll link it below because it's fantastic. But I just wanted to share this with you. And if you stick around right till the end, I'll have 3 book recommendations that will make you feel less alone this holiday season. Alrighty, grab yourself a cup of tea, sit back and enjoy. Light me up with all the Christmas lights. The holiday season swirls into the air, hovering just out of grasp. The trees go up, the stress levels increase, and the lights shine into bedrooms across the globe. People's schedules become full of social events, and time feels limited for so many. Which is to say, I wish my social calendar was full to remove the guilt, loneliness, and challenge that is the holidays. Missing the Southern Hemisphere and my family, guilt feels like it piles on at this time of year. It occurs to me the holidays are hard for me and for many others, truly wishing I was home for a few days, simply not being possible 15,000 kilometers from home. Hence, this impromptu post a world away. Beautiful moments exist even away from the people you love, and the challenge is to make your own beautiful moments. My adult life has continuously put me in different places across the globe, with 18 addresses in the last decade, which I feel gives me license to speak on such a matter as Christmas and the holidays. Let's just say I've missed a few. In the past years, I've been a bobblehead on FaceTime, passed around a room, bumping into walls, beers, and speaking to people who I haven't seen since the Christmas FaceTime the year before. The guilt kicks you in the gut, and you try to be more jovial than perhaps you usually are. The impulse to yell sorry into the phone is overwhelming. Glancing through the phone and seeing people you love get that little bit older, the room that little bit smaller, and the faces of those no longer with us. Truthfully, you want to get on a plane and apologize, but living on the other side of the world isn't conducive to that. Christmas and the holidays is a beautiful time to unite with our closest people, and yet I've come to realize in the years of missing my own is that some people aren't gifted Christmas. Emotions are tough, and as the trees get lit, the lights turn on, and Santa soars from the skies, the darkness tries to envelop many. The financial hardships, missing people who are no longer with us, missing those many miles away, struggles with family, friends, and relationships. The pain, loneliness, and uncertainty begin to stack up. And I say all this to say, this holiday season and all the others, forget about the gifts, stress, and the work that needs to be done. Those things just aren't that important. Instead, focus on the moments, time with loved ones, and the relationships in your life you treasure. Focus on those things. Invite friends you know struggle during this time to dinner. Send messages to those further away and say I love you often. Check in on people, both strangers and families alike. Shower people with kindness. Know it's best to do what's best for you. Ignore your family when it comes to comments on career, relationships, and having it figured out. If it's negative, ignore it. Know it's okay to be sad during the holidays. Know it's okay to share such things. And I'll add an amendment here. Look after yourself. Take care of yourself. Read books that you love. Watch movies that make you happy. Check on yourself. Walk outside. Enjoy hot chocolate, teas, coffees, whatever it is that you love and you need, because you matter at this time of year and you can't pour from an empty cup. It took me living a world away to realize the value of Christmas and the holidays. None of it is in the gifts, it's in the moments. Always was. Happy holidays. Thanks for listening. And I just realized that I forgot something, so I better add it. Christmas hat. I add, subtract, and change that piece in one way, shape, or form every year. And it's one of my favorite pieces to write because I think it matters. And every single year, I'm reminded that the kindness and what you give out at this time of year is the most important thing that you can do. Being able to share those moments and those things that matter with the people that you love, whether they're here right next to you or they are 15,000 kilometers away on the other side of the world, is maybe one of the most important things we do. So we still show up, we still care, we still give kindness to strangers, because at the end of the day, that's the person that I would like to be, and that's the world I would like to see. All right, I did tell you that I had 3 book recommendations for this holiday season, and I'm going to give them to you. I was once told many years ago on a trip from the gentleman who was leading the trip that if you had a book with you, you could never be alone. And yeah, he's not wrong. That is one of the most powerful lines I've ever had, and I've never been anywhere where I haven't had a book again since. So without further ado, my first book recommendation is The Lord of the Rings. I actually don't have the first copy of this, The Fellowship of the Ring. This is Return of the King. The reason I don't have Fellowship of the Ring is because my partner, who has traveled back to be with her family for Christmas, I haven't joined her because I'm working, actually took Fellowship of the Ring. But Fellowship of the Ring, the very beginning of this trilogy, is what I would recommend for the first comfort read that would make you feel less alone this holiday season. But any of the Lord of the Rings books in this trilogy will hit the trick depending on what you feel like reading. I actually read The Twin Towers 2 Christmases ago and was just in love. Those characters are just so rich and so full, and you get so immersed in the world. And I love a journey. I love a trilogy. I love description of a place, and these characters feel alive. And so when you're reading the pages of this book, you feel like you're there with them. And I found a few holiday seasons ago when I was sitting there alone by myself after finishing work for an evening on Christmas Day, I just felt like I was in a room full of people. And I think that that's a pretty good representation of a book that is great for the holiday season if you are trying to feel a little less alone this Christmas. So yeah, fantasy, Tolkien, a cozy cuppa on the couch, and rain outside the window, which is what I've currently got, might be on the cards for me this evening. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere and it is a lot warmer than this, that's cool too. This is a very good park read in the sunshine as well. Also, Tim from the future, I realized that I probably didn't disclose. I'm doing okay. I really am. It's just a hard time of year to be away from your family and your friends and such. I do, and I'm very fortunate, get to spend Christmas with 2 of my dear friends here in town this year. And I'm pretty happy and I'm pretty lucky. So don't worry about me. I just realized as I was editing this that I didn't add any of that detail and that context. But I will be reaching out to friends and family and loved ones, and I will be okay. Not that anyone's stressing, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I just thought that was important to disclose that bit of information. All right, next up is Orbital by Samantha Harvey, and this is maybe an obscure choice. It won the Booker Prize last year, and I picked it. Well, I'll tell you about it first, and then I'll come back to why I picked it. This follows the story of 6 men and women astronauts over the course of a day as they're in space traveling. And it's profound and contemplative, and it is beautiful language. These astronauts have left Earth behind and are traveling at 17,000 miles an hour as Earth reels below them. And I think I picked it because it's got this really unique perspective of Earth as a place and our beings on it, and it gives a really contemplative view of what matters. And I don't know, it's just got this like simple complexity to it. And as I saw it on the shelf, I just felt like this was maybe a book that over the holiday season, if you're feeling a bit lonely, will maybe make you feel like you are with people in that loneliness, if that makes sense. Anyway, I read this last Christmas and really enjoyed it. So yeah, that's that. All right, next up is Mary Oliver, Upstream. And this is also a bit of a unique choice as a selected essay collection. But I think the way that she talks about the world and nature and animals and what you can find just outside your front door made me select this essay book, because I remember feeling like it was just this beautiful collection of work. And I remember reading it while I was in the sky, and it made me feel close to everything at the time that mattered. And that's why I selected Upstream by Mary Oliver. Mary Oliver is also just like an incredible writer, and her description of place, but people and objects and details is just next to none. And she talked about craft a little bit in this book as well. And it just made me feel less lonely and a little bit more comfortable when I read this book. Yeah, I loved it, and I think you will too. And it's just a good one for the holiday season. Okay, I know I told you that I only had 3, but I've actually got a 4th, and I'm gonna give it to you right now. It's 11/22/63 by Stephen King. It is a love story. It's a gentleman, Jape Epping, finds a time hole and goes back in time to 1959 to see if he can stop the John F. Kennedy assassination and change the course of history. But in the process of doing this, he falls in love, and it is just this like beautiful story I think about quite often. It's Stephen King's best work, in my opinion. If you are looking for a beautiful, long, adventure-filled read this holiday season, 11/22/63 by Stephen King, you can't go wrong with that. And I just wanted to share that one as well, because when I was making this list, 4 came to mind. That was the 4th. And yeah, I think that's valuable. Anyway, they're the 4 books I would pick this holiday season if I was looking for a holiday read of some kind. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me this holiday season. Thanks for watching along. It's really appreciated. Any support of any kind this year has meant the world on this journey that I am undertaking. I wanted to share this today for the people who struggle through the holiday season, but also for the people that don't, and maybe for those people to perhaps reach out and offer a hand to those that do, because it's a hard time of year and people are lonely and people are hurting and people are doing it tough. And I think if we can extend kindness to those people, kindness then ripples on into everything else. So remember to be kind this holiday season. Remember to be caring. Remember to laugh. Remember to look after yourself. And I will see you back here next week. Actually, that's not entirely true. I'll see you back here in like 3 days. I've got a 2025 reading wrap up coming up, and I'm really looking forward for you to check that one out. But yeah, see you soon. Oh, and happy holidays. Merry Christmas. And a happy new year. Cheers.